She cold. Gross. Hello and welcome to the Bold Outdoors YouTube channel. I am Josh and today I want to talk about winter recovery gear. I get that question every now and then, like what do I bring on the trails? Why do I ride solo and things like that? So I wanted to go through a few things. But first of all, I wanted to explain a little bit about the things I always bring. And that's in this box here. So in here, I always have the battery booster. I always have extra belts, tire plugs, extra tools, just things like that. That's what I always carry. In addition to that, in the glove box, I have an air compressor and more tools and plugs. Over there, if you can kind of see that, there's always an inner tube because I run B-locks. I do not carry a spare tire. And I'll touch on that a little bit more, but I always have the extra tow line and tree savers. So in addition to that, so riding in the winter, it can be dangerous. It can be cold. And it's something that if you don't feel comfortable doing it, you probably shouldn't be doing it. But I'm not here to like scare you away or tell you like if you're too scared, you shouldn't be doing it. That's up to you. However, I'm gonna go through different things that I bring on the trail and that help you kind of feel more comfortable and things like that. So in this box, now I have the two ammo boxes. As I said, this one is always in the RZR. This one is like on occasion. And so of course now being in the winter, I always bring it. So here, I always bring an extra set of heavy gloves. So these are actually my snowboarding gloves. Super warm. So in those days that you're in the single digit and stuff, these really come in handy. However, nowadays with the full windshield and heated seats, it isn't as necessary to have such thick, heavy gloves. But I'll touch on it a little bit here. If you have to walk back to the truck, you might want to be having these, right? In addition to the heavy gloves, an extra pair of socks. Again, this is one of those things that if you're winching a lot, or if you have to trek back out, you know, if you unfortunately have to make it back to your truck and your trailer, dry socks are definitely something you really, really want to have on the trails. I always carry wet wipes. You never know when you know nature calls and stuff like that. Extra granola bars and things like that. Toilet paper and a can. What I do recommend, don't seal it. It actually creates moisture. In addition, I always carry sunscreen. For some reason, I still have bug spray in here, but you don't need that in the winter. Hand sanitizer and stuff. Extra radio. So if you're riding in a group and other guys don't have radios and stuff, and if you're on the trails and get split up, whatever, these really do come in handy. Make sure everyone knows about the different channels and stuff. In addition to the gloves and the socks, I always carry an extra long sleeve shirt. And down there I also have a scarf as well. So mainly, you're out on the trails and you get stuck or broke down or whatever, and you have to trek back out. You really, really want to bundle up on your way back out of there. That's not the fun part. In addition to that, so if you're on the trails and you're not sure what exactly the conditions are, you might not want to venture too far away from your tow vehicle. That way it is easier to get back. Maybe be in relatively good shape health-wise, because it is a lot of work trudging through snow to get back to your vehicle. That's where it gets a lot of people. It's not so much the elements or anything like that, but it's the physical exertion of getting back to your vehicle is what unfortunately does a lot of people in. So I'm always bringing extra water in a cooler. Got to stay well hydrated, of course. So that's kind of like, I don't know, I guess the basics or the essentials, but everybody here is probably for this stuff. So what I have, so like I said, underneath the driver's seat, I always keep some tree savers and an extra winch line. However, in this recovery bag, this is where I keep all this stuff. So I got the width 50 feet on the winch. There's 50 feet underneath the seat. There's 50 feet here. And then I have a regular, steel cable here. So that means I have 200 feet of recovery line available to me. That really does come in handy. And as I said, tree saver underneath the seat, and then I have 2 under here. So enough to do 3 trees if I need to. What else? That should be it for that. 3 shackles and 3 snatch blocks. And then I'll show on the old board of knowledge there about reverse winching. It's a very important skill I think people should learn when you're stuck, and especially if you're solo. Good idea to always bring a saw. This is the smaller one. This is the Poulan. As I said, it is a smaller one. However, it's not as reliable as the Husky here. So you'll normally see in my videos that I usually have the Husky. When it comes down to springtime, I'll actually bring both saws. And either I'll keep the big Husky up here, and then I'll have my extra chainsaw mount there with the Poulan. So I have the 2 saws along with this guy here. It's really neat that it holds the bar oil and your 2-stroke mix at the same time. Really convenient. Army shovel, which is compact, easy to do. Wedges, which I don't use that often, but they do come in handy. So again, you got your shackles, you got your snatch blocks, and as I said, I'll show on the board of knowledge there why you need those. In addition to the saws, I have extra chain. I also have files for on the field sharpening, chainsaw tools, and then your carburetor tool. Really comes in handy. So, everyday stuff. So of course the belts and everything like that. In the glove box. You're not going to see anything, but I got extra tire plugs, first aid kit, air compressor, things like that. That's always in there. And again, these are always in here. 50 feet of line and tree saver. Wedged up into there is an extra inner tube. Having bead locks, it's pretty easy to just throw in a tube and go about your day, rather than having to worry about carrying a spare. All right, let's go to the board of knowledge. Welcome to the Bullet Outdoors Board of Knowledge. So here I wanted to kind of mention a few different things here. One is reverse winching with using multiple trees and snatch blocks. The simple method of reverse winching, and then some different strategies that you can use if you're stuck solo and in the snow. So first of all, reverse winching. Why is that important? Because if you're making forward progress and you come to a stop, how are you going to get out? So you have different choices that you can make. This is one of the choices you can make. So this is using 3 snatch blocks and at least 2 trees. On this demonstration here, I showed 3 trees. So here's your RZR, winch at the front, and you're going to use 3 snatch blocks. So first of all, you're going to run out a bunch of winch line. You're going to come to a tree over here. You're going to use a tree saver and a snatch block. Run your line through there. Run your line down this way to a second tree. Tree saver, snatch block. Line through there to the rear of the vehicle. So in this case, the RZR. You're going to run a shackle and a snatch block on the rear of the vehicle. And then you're going to take that line and run it to another tree or even to the same tree. Tree saver, and then your hook. So there you go. Line from your winch to a tree, snatch block. Second tree, snatch block. To the rear of the vehicle, snatch block. And then to another point of location with your hook. Now, it might seem kind of weird because you're winching in the line this way. So your line is moving this way, right? However, your vehicle will move this way. Actually, I should back up. In reality, it's actually gonna move kind of this way. So it's kind of gonna winch at an angle here. However, you're gonna make rear progress using this. Now, the issue is, and nobody really explains this, why this is happening. Now, the straightest line, so the straightest point between two distances is a straight line. Now the issue, or what's going on here, is right here, this snatch block is wanting to close this distance here before it closes this distance here. So, as this winch line is pulling in, it's closing this distance here and wanting to make a straight line between these 2 points. That's why you're making rear progress even though you're pulling the winch line in this way. Now, there's a lot of circumstances here that need to be in play in order for this to work. Pretty much wherever you get stuck, you need a tree fairly close to your vehicle and diagonally from it. In addition, you also need a tree behind the vehicle diagonally in order for this to work. You need this kind of triangle here in order for this to work. You also need enough winch line in order to accomplish all these different connection points. That's where the extra line that I showed earlier comes into play. However, you need a lot of winch line in order to accomplish this. You need good snatch blocks that move freely in order for this to work. If there's any sort of binding or any sort of friction, it will not work. It'll pull your vehicle kind of this way if there's any sort of binding. So you need almost a perfect scenario where you got stuck in order for this to work. So the simple method, which I refer to here, most people, especially with the RZR, in that, so your winch is up here, right? And you get stuck. So you look for a tree or something behind you, and you just run the winch line underneath the vehicle to a connection point. Now, again, this is kind of some special circumstances because ideally you'd want something right behind you. Now, this could come into play if your buddy, say if you're riding with someone that does not have a winch, you could run your own winch underneath your vehicle and connect to theirs and then kind of winch yourself out, especially if kind of tugging and pulling does not work, or again, if they do not have their own winch. This could come into play. However, ideally, you'd want a tree directly behind your vehicle in order for this to work. How often is that going to be the case, however? Second of all, you only have like a certain amount of play here before you get into the tires. So you only have like a narrow field here in order to winch on. So that's why I showed this tree here. This tree here is in line with the winch and avoids the tires. Same thing, you can come out kind of the side here, but you have a very narrow field in order to pull that winch line out to get to a tree. So again, this is a really special circumstance and you need some special things here going on in order to make this work. This also is a special circumstance in order to make this work. So you're riding solo and you get stuck on the snow, you need to figure out which of these methods you're going to use. And that's why I mentioned here, number 3, winch forward to a clearing. This might be an option that if you're going along the trail, you encounter deep snow and you get stuck, look ahead of you and see, okay, can I winch forward and find like an area that I can maybe turn around or that I can make, further progress? Your day is not ruined. So this might be an option there where you're able to winch forward into a clearing. Or number 4, this actually is really hard to do. So number 4, winch to the side. So again, this is, say there's a tree over here and you're gonna run your winch line to a tree saver. Basically, you're gonna be winching against the snow, against the side of your tires. So basically, when you choose to do this one, you're gonna turn your tires and you're gonna throttle out while winching at the same time, and you're probably gonna have to use multiple connection points, multiple trees in order to get turned around in order to come back going this way. So there's a lot of things to consider when you're riding solo and you get stuck in the snow on how you're gonna get out of this situation. So overall, don't allow riding solo to deter you from having fun, because you can have a lot of fun and enjoy the trails on your own. However, if you do have that anxiety and a little bit of being scared, maybe it's not for you. If you don't have the health or the physical kind of ability in order to walk out from being stuck and getting back to your tow vehicle, maybe it's not for you. It's just fact of life. It's just the way it is. But however, if you use different materials and you have like the different things, warm clothes, snatch blocks and winch lines, a winch, good tires, you will have a lot of fun, and it won't be a damper on your day, so to speak. But again, I wanted to make a really quick overview of the different things that I bring, and again, the techniques that I use in order to get unstuck. But again, it's all about having fun. It's all about enjoying yourself. So don't allow riding solo to prevent you from having fun, but at the same time, be smart and be careful. That's all I can say. So hopefully this video helps a little bit about enjoying the trails and enjoying winter riding. Again, this is Josh with Bullet Outdoors. If you like what I do, please subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.